Hello everyone, welcome to the Geekdom, the place where we outcast comes to talk about the things we love, and today we're talking about Robin. Okay, that's right, my favourite DC characters, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, we love them all. You guys have been asking for more Robin content. The Robin video we did the other day has done exceptionally well. I'm so thankful for all of that. Before we jump into the list, there's a few things I need to say about the list. We are including every single person who has donned the Robin identity, whether it's for one issue, whether it's for entire runs. We are eliminating one or two because there's just not enough there for me to even comment on. Okay, so there is 15 Robins on this list, and we're going to start at number 15. But before we do, I just want to ask you to quickly subscribe. I know everyone hates the whole subscribe thing, but we're doing so well. We're on like 1,200 and something, and literally 3 days ago we weren't even at 1,000, so we're just picking it up constantly, and it's amazing. I'm loving all the support from you guys. As always, if you've got anything to say in the comments, I try and read and respond to every single one, so please do interact down there. I love talking to you guys. I won't waste too much time. We're gonna get straight into the list with number 15, Talon, the evil Robin of Earth 3. Now the reason he's at number 15 for a couple of reasons. The main one is that we know nothing about him. He's from Earth 3, so he's part of the Crime Syndicate's universe. He's essentially Owlman's Robin. I don't think we even know which guy it is. We're all kind of assuming it's Dick Grayson because there's certain ties to the Court of Owls and stuff like that. And the suit is very reminiscent of Dick Grayson's original. Now, I honestly wanted to put him higher because he's got drip. And it's a cool sounding character. The Court of Owls are very cool, and you've got to assume that he has the same sort of aura as Talon does. So I feel like it's quite a cool sounding character. Sadly, we just don't know enough about him for him to be placed any higher on this list. So he's at number 15. At number 14 is a weird one. Now this is a deep cut. Okay, I don't think half of you guys are going to know who this is, so we're all going to learn something today. His name is Lance Bruner, and he is technically the second Robin. Now, while Dick and Batman were still Batman and Robin at the same time, Bruce adopted another son, and he was incredibly jealous of Dick Grayson. Didn't like the relationship that him and Bruce had, and when he actually discovered that Bruce and Dick were going out as Batman and Robin, he decided that he wanted to deal with that problem by ratting them out to some gangsters. So he set up this meeting, and he was going to go and meet with these gangsters to basically hand over the information about Batman and Robin. But before he got there, he had a change of heart. He was like, no, I shouldn't be doing this, this isn't right. But then he sees that these mobsters have actually seemingly killed Dick Grayson. And Lance feels absolutely terrible, so he actually puts the Robin costume on and acts as Robin. And then when one of the mobsters takes a shot at Batman, he takes the bullet for him, and Lance sadly dies. So, a pretty cool character. The reason he's at number 14 is because A, there's so many better ones, and B, he had too short of a run. Like, I just couldn't place it any higher. But it's a character that I've never heard of before, so it's quite an interesting thing. I love doing these videos because I always learn a little bit more. That's a character, like, I have immense Robin knowledge because I think about Robin a great deal. I'd never heard of that before. Okay, in the number 13 spot, I want to clarify something before we get a bit further into this list. We are factoring in mostly their performances as Robin. Okay, their performances as Robin. Sometimes my personal love for a character will factor in, which you'll see later on in the list, but it's mostly about their stints as Robin. So if you see me put a Robin that you quite like a bit lower down, it might just be because they have a better other identity. So at 13th place, we've got Helena Wayne from Earth 2. Now, Helena Wayne obviously goes on to become Huntress in Earth 2. That's what she's kind of most known for, but she was Robin. She's got a great costume. I think Helena's a really cool character. I like Huntress a lot, but the actual stint of Robin just wasn't as good as the other Robins on this list. There's no hate towards her. Honestly, I think there's very few on this list that I actually dislike as a Robin. Helena Wayne is not one of them. Number 12, we've got a relatively recent one. I think it was from 2018. And that is Robin Zur-En-Arrh. This is from the Failsafe arc, which I read and I really enjoyed. I honestly wanted to put him higher. He just doesn't have enough going for him. He's a clone of Bruce Wayne, because Batman Zero and R and the Failsafe AI basically go, Damian's not cutting it. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And he clones Bruce, and he wears this really cool Robin costume. It's a bit out there, which I quite like. It's very Zero and R, which I really like. I think it's a cool costume. It looks good. It's kind of Tim Drake-ish, which I always think. If he had a longer stint, it would have been cool to see more of a sort of evil Robin. But sadly, 12th is as high as I can put him on this list. At number 11 is possibly the only Robin I actively sort of dislike, and that's Carrie Kelley, the Robin from The Dark Knight Returns. The reason I dislike Carrie Kelley is she just kind of hops in, puts on a costume, and she's just there. I mean, I don't know, Dick had to train, Tim had to train, Damian had to train, he was with the League of Shadows, Jason trained, they all trained enough to be Robin. Carrie Kelley just put a suit on and ended up just fighting with a slingshot. It didn't feel earned, it felt like we had to have a Robin of the future. I didn't like it. I think she's kind of irritating. Her stint as Batwoman is kind of interesting in some of the time travel-y stuff. I just don't like her. At number 10 we have Jarro, Batman's favourite Robin, which if you don't know is Starro in a Robin costume. Bruce is essentially like his dad because he grew him in like a jar. Jarro refers to him as Dad a lot. It's really cute. There's quite a nice relationship between the two of them, which I really didn't expect. It's just quite a cute little thing. I like it when the Robins are a bit random. There is a Robin we didn't include on this list just because there's only so many spots, and that is the Robin from the Justice League of China, which is a Robin robot, and it kind of falls under the same sort of thing. I like cute little Robins, you know? I like the ones that aren't human, that are a bit weird. At number 9 is a cool one. We've got Matt McGinnis, the Batman Beyond Robin? The Robin Beyond. We've got Matt McGinnis, the Robin Beyond. If you don't know this is Terry McGinnis, the GOAT, his younger brother, who's essentially, that means also the offspring of Bruce Wayne. It's all very complicated. So Matt McGinnis, in a time of need, when Terry's in trouble, takes a Robin costume and goes out to save the day. And obviously then we have Batman and Robin. I love that because I love the whole father and son dynamic of Bruce and Dick and that sort of thing, but I like the brotherly vibes that we've got between Terry and Matt, and also the Beyond Robin costume is really cool. I really like that costume. At number 8 we have Drake Winston, the Robin that almost was. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you're a bit out of the loop on the comics front, Batman 1989, one of the best Batman films ever, was actually continued in a comic book run, and it's still ongoing. And in that run, Batman gets a Robin, Drake Winston. And I can't remember the actual actor's name, do forgive me, but they were planning to get an actor, I think, in as Robin, but it never came to fruition. But they've essentially cast him as the Robin in the comic book, which is really cool. The costume's great. I think he's recently become Nightwing, which is quite sick. Yeah, I love all of that stuff. I love Batman 89. The comic run's really fun. If you ever have the opportunity to read it, it's really, really good. I'd get reading. Number 7, we're getting into the actual Bat family sort of stuff now, and we've got Duke Thomas. Now, in the We Are Robin arc, he did technically wear a Robin outfit, because he had the red jacket with the big red R on it and stuff like that. And obviously when he later actually becomes a member of the Bat family, it sort of solidifies his spot. Thing is, I know I said before it's all about the stints as Robin, but eventually you've got to start putting other things into play. Duke Thomas was a Robin, and he's an amazing character as Signal. So that's a little bit of favoritism from me. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, he probably had one of the shortest stints as Robin, besides, well, whoever's at number 5 on this list, which we'll get to. He had a pretty short stint, so you can't really put that into play, but I do love Duke Thomas, so I just had to put him higher than some others. I mean, it was not going to go below Carrie Kelley, was he? At number 6 is a weird one, okay? Bruce Wayne. I know, you're like, what? Bruce Wayne's Batman, Fred, he's not Robin. Wrong, okay? This list involves everything from things that are no longer canon, things that are still canon. It involves everything ever stated in comics. And I've got the number right here. In Detective Comics number 226 in December 1955, Bruce Wayne revealed to Dick Grayson that he was the original Robin. He studied under Detective Harvey Harris. I'm sorry, I'm looking over there because I've actually got all the information on my laptop. He trained under Detective Harvey Harris, who actually gave him the moniker of Robin, and he wore the Robin suit. Thankfully, this is no longer canon because I don't particularly like this origin story for Robin, but it did happen. Bruce Wayne was Robin, and if he trained enough as Robin and he was awesome as Robin and he became Batman, that means he must have been a pretty damn good Robin. So because I love Bruce and I love Batman and I love all that sort of stuff, Bruce Wayne is on our list of Robins. At number 5 we have my girl Stephanie Brown. I love Stephanie Brown. She's great. She has, in the actual main Robins, she has the shortest stint as a Robin ever. She's just great. We love Steph. She's been Robin, she's been Spoiler, she's been Batgirl. I love her. I love her relationship with Tim Drake. Her Robin costume's really, really cool. It was a short stint, but she was awesome. We all love Stephanie Brown. I mean, I've been talking on live stream with a lot of people recently. If you haven't been watching the lives, do hop over. We have good fun. And there's been so much Stephanie Brown love in that chat. So everyone loves Stephanie. So do I. She's a great Robin. At number 4, and this is where I'm going to start getting hate, Jason Todd. Now, do I want Jason Todd to be higher? Yes. And here, I'm just going to watch your step, because I'm dropping knowledge, right? As Robin, he had a short period. He was brutal, he was mean, and he was a bit too jealous of Dick Grayson, so he was a bit irritating in certain spots, but that's part of his character, so I'll let it slide, and I quite like that. Then he died. So he had a pretty short stint as Robin. So it's difficult to judge that. Then he comes back as Jason Todd and Red Hood, and I'm like, yeah, okay, great, I love that. He's awesome. But there's one thing that holds him back, and it's the writers, because they keep going, oh, here's character development, back to trauma. Here's character development, we're taking him back to where he was. And they just keep doing the same flashbacks over and over again. Hopefully in this new Red Hood series we've got coming out at the minute, it'll resolve some problems there. He has such potential to be higher, but I literally could not bump him above 4th place. In number 3, we have Damian Wayne. Now, if you'd have asked me this 2 years ago, I'd have said, jog on, sunshine. Damian is the worst Robin out there. I changed my mind. I changed my tune completely. I mean, right, I own quite a lot of the issues of the original Batman and Robin run where Damian is Dick Grayson's Robin. He's irritating as hell in that, right? You watch the film about the Super Sons, it's washed, he's rubbish. There's so many Damian Wayne appearances, even in the DC AMU, he's just irritating. He's that 13-year-old, oh, I'm from the League of Shadows, I'm a cocky little child, right? I hate it. But then I read the Lazarus Island run, and I saw how his character has developed as he's grown up. I read Batman and Robin, the current run. I read anything to do with Damian at the minute, and I love it. He's great. He's such a great Robin. He's become more competent as he's grown up. He's definitely going to be the next Batman. Without a shadow of a doubt. 100%. I think that's half the reason they keep Tim Drake as Robin. Because they know that Damian will be Batman at some point. Or like Batboy. Something like that. Also, Damian has some fire drip. That's another point. His black suit is awesome. In the number 2 spot, and this was tough. This was tough. Now, if we were going 100% based on Robin ability, this guy would be at number 1. But because I'm factoring certain other factors like just general enjoyment of character, Tim Drake is at number 2. So, I love Tim Drake. Tim Drake is just one of my favourite comic book characters of all time. I have pieces of art all over my walls with pictures of Tim Drake. I have a lot of his issues in my comic collection. I love him. Right, I have him on my dashboard of my car. I think Tim Drake is awesome. My favourite Robin, right? He's smart, possibly smarter than Batman, or at least will be in the detective kind of thing. He figured out who Batman was after watching footage. It's crazy, right? He's great. He has so many great stories. The Red Robin arc is brilliant. Does he get a little bit underutilized? Yes. Does he get a bit shit on by the writers? Yes. Does he deserve better? Absolutely. I'm just hoping that in this new run that we're getting shortly, Batman number 1 coming out soon, we get a little bit of a better run for the Red Robin Tim Drake. And that means, of course, at number 1, my absolute GOAT, my number 1 superhero in DC, my number 1 superhero tied with Spider-Man of all time, Dick Grayson, right? Obviously, as Nightwing, he cooks, and he's just like the best. I love him to pieces. But as Robin, he had a great stint as well. That period when he's just about to turn into Nightwing, when he's in the Titans and he's a bit older, It's great. I've read so many of those issues, and he's just got such gravitas. I don't know, he's just awesome. He manages to pull off the like elf boots and green underwear look. I don't know how he pulls it off, but he does. He's great. He's such a good character. An absolute childhood hero of mine. I love Dick Grayson. I could talk for hours about Dick Grayson. If you ever want like a deep dive video on this channel, like anything like that to do with comic book characters, I'd always do that, and especially if it's Nightwing, I'd do a deep dive. I'd do dramatized comic book readings. I'd do anything because I love Nightwing. Well, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have liked this list. I've tried to cover as many bases as I can, try and teach you a little bit about certain Robins. If there's any that I have missed out by accident, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I always like to hear that. If you have a different list to this, feel free to put them down as well. And if you have a particular favourite Robin that you're very passionate about, put that down there as well. We are going to be doing all sorts of things over on live soon. We're going to start doing some tier lists on live streams and stuff. I know that we're doing, at the time of recording this, today we're doing a ranking the Bat Family tier list. There's plenty of stuff over there. We play video games, we do all of that. So feel free to come and jump on the lives. It really does help. And if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to click down there. As I said, we're doing really well and I'm really pleased. So feel free to keep that going. I love you all. I will see you later. Bye-bye.